Si Mr. DJ Manoto ng AFC. Okay. Katabi ko, ang gwapong si Mr. Ruel Timbo ng ABS-CBN. Okay. Next, the pretty girl in brown, si Liling Tiangco, IBC 13 and crew. Today naman niya si Mr. Rod Cornejo of Manila Overseas Club and AIJ, Asian Institute of Journalism, and formerly GMA7 po. Now, the man in pink is Mr. Rafi Aling of Manila Times. The man in white naman is Mr. Miguel. Si Mike Balaguer ng DarioTagalog.com. And ang pinaka-presidente ng Sajor Mega Manila, si Ate Esther Gallardo. Okay, welcome po lahat kayo. Wala kayo na-miss? Wala kayo na-miss. Okay, thank you very much, Beth. Okay, I think the floor is now open for questions from our friends from media. Who would like to shoot the first question? Mr. Cornell, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Doctor, may I ask you, there are many Filipinos who are really creative, and they can invent things. But the problem is, when the invention is conceptualized and it's done, nobody will finance it. And it ends up just being in the patent office or just being in the shelf. What kind of mechanism can you create that will allow inventions to become reality and to become commercially available and affordable? Thank you.
Okay, this is really the question that arises most of the time. How do we commercialize these inventions? An invention, once it is patented or acquires a registration, a utility model registration, is still not assured that it is going to be commercially viable. And this is the hard part, because the viability of an invention, that it works, is on the shoulders of IPO, Intellectual Property Office. We have technical people there that will determine whether that kind of idea will work. But they don't determine the commercial viability. The commercial viability, we try to handle that at our side. Now, we examine the inventions. You will be amazed that even the contest winners, once we subject them to real acid test of commerciality, they fail. For example, in the past, we had some inventions on garbage segregation. It won first prize. Then I organized a technical group from different agencies. Once we open up the invention, we know it will not work as it was conceived to be in the actual environment where you are going to place it. The idea maybe it's okay, you can patent it, but it's not that easy all the time. So the burden is on us. And before we put the government money there, it's public money. We must also protect it. We also would like to place it in a good investment, but we also must protect it against any investment that will just become a waste, or shall we say, its time has not come. Most of the inventions, if you will notice it, once they are patented, even in the United States or elsewhere, ang commercialization yan 30 years to 50 years. Take for example, it's an airplane. Even now, they're still developing a lot of things regarding aerodynamics. But these are triggers for other things to come out. There are inventions, of course, that are immediately implementable. Like, for example, yung mga sa ITDI, yung mga nanotechnology sila, making things more durable, may characteristics yan na permeable or other things. The applications are immediate, but not all are like this.
Dagdag lang ako. That's why, na-recall ko in the past, when I first encouraged some of the young inventors, if they can develop products of really economic significance, yung madaling bebenta. Like for instance, Naalala ko noon yung unang-unang inattend ko na inventions contest. Sabi ko, kami ho sa DOST, we even import the ordinary garlic peeler. Yun yung pambalat ng bawang. Ini-import po natin sa Taiwan and it cost us 300,000. Kasi ho, yung nagpuproduce ano ba yung langgunisa, eh hindi niya kaya na magbalat ng ilang kilong bawang. So sabi ko, yung mga ganun sana na simple gadgets lang siya, and yet talagang malakas yung benta niya sa market. So I encourage them, sana tingnan nila yung economic significance nung i-develop nila na mga inventions or products or ano mang gadget yan o materials. Yun lang po. Hindi lang po yun, ang dami nating kailangang ibilhin pa sa abroad na maliliit lang na simple. Sabi ko, mga simple device lang. Wala tayo yan dito. Wala tayo yan dito.
Good morning, ako Wally Bilitor of Gigan ng Broadcaster outside of Manila. Program producer po ng UNTV and DCSL. Ang katanungan ko, bagamat may kasabihin po tayo na invention is the mother of all necessity is the mother of all invention. Now, it's so happen na yung kakulangan natin ng pagkain, maganda ho yung mga ibigay ho natin na tulong para maka-unlag pa ang ating mga pinagkukunan ng pagkain. Pero isang malaki po problema ngayon na napag-usapan niya ako ng nakaraang Friday na hindi na ako nagkaroon ng pagkakataon makapagtanong, ay itong dengue. Na kung saan ang naging solusyon lang po natin ay sa pamagitan ng isang plastic na itim na baso na may lawanit. Na sa tingin ko po ay napakabagal na solusyon. Samantalang meron po tayong mga nasubukan na noong pa. Since 1939, si Paul Miller ay na-discover po itong DDT. At noong panahon pong yun, ay talagang malaganap na po yung sakit na mosquito-borne diseases. At sa Africa nga po, 1 child per 30 seconds na namamatay. Eh dito sa atin, malaria po ang pinag-uusapan noon. Eh dito, dengue mas mabilis o. Na isapan na kailangan siguro natin at isang amo sa mga scientists natin, mga bata, dahil lang sa generation po nila ito maapektuhan. Na nababawasan, marami po natin mga kabataan, maging dito po sa Quirino Memorial Hospital, na napakarami na po yung cases ng dengue. At ultimo yung coverage nila na 200 na cases. Eh talagang palala. Pero nataka ho tayo na dinadowngrade pa ng mga statistic natin na normal pa ito na in overall. Pero kung tutusin sa Metro Manila, ay nasubukan na po natin ng napakaraming mga biktima. Now, balikan ko po yung isang invention na kung sabi ko pong nabanggit yung DDT, ay isang chemical na hindi po naman napatunayan hanggang ngayon na nakaka-apekto sa human being. At ang binibigay lang po ng rason dito, actually, na madalas nga binibigyan ng paliwanag, ay yung mga ibon, mga insekto na nangangamatay. Ang katanungan, mas mahalaga ba yung mga ibon at mga insekto yung marami ng ating mga bata na namamatay? Kaya siguro, hamon dito sa mga young scientists natin na i-rediscover o i-renew ninyo ang stand natin sa DDT na kung saan hanggang ngayon wala po akong napatunayan na ito yung nakasama sa human being. Kaya kung yung necessity is the mother of all invention, palagay ko panahon na po para i-review natin. Bagamat ang World Health Organization po ngayon ay pinahintulutan na ako sa ibang bansa na ibalik ang DDT. At ito po ay malaking kaluwagan at na bigyan ng mahalagang pamuksa sa maraming mga mosquito-borne diseases. Eh, dito po sa atin, dengue lang pinag-uusapan natin. Pero wala tayong statistics sa malaria, sa typhoid, sa mga iba pang mosquito-borne diseases na meningitis o iba pang mga bahagi ng tungkol sa lamok. Kaya kung patuloy natin karagdagan lang po na hindi ko po naman dinadowngrade yung develop na OB crop. Kundi bigyan po natin ng pansin yung malawakan at mabilisang pamamaraan na kung saan po mga panahon na yon, sa pag-spray lamang po ng DDT sa mga bahay-bahay na 2 beses isang taon, ay sa 2.8 million sa sa Sri Lanka na cases, ay naibaba po nila ng 17 cases lang at isa lang ang namatay. Yan po ay may mga statistics.
Yun ho kasi may nabanggit yan na gusto nyo ibalik yung DDT, ano po. Ayan ay talagang parang desperate talaga tayo. Kasi alam nyo raw yung DDT, hindi naman ako expert yan kasi pesticide authority yan. Isang taon na, hindi pa yan nag-decay. Yan ay kung saan mo ilagay mag-stay yan dyan for a long time and you don't know what will take that in later on. Pag na-ingest mo yan, ganyan din yan ang lalabas sa'yo. Parang ganun ang problema ng DDT. That's why these things are no longer being promoted. That's why we have this OB trap. Kasi ito very natural. Ang problema kasi ng lamok, pumupunta doon sa lugar na hindi mo siya ma-access. Eh kung pwede lang simentohin natin lahat ng lugar na pwede lang pagtaguan, di pwede sana. But we have this squatters area, we have trees, we have bamboo